This is from about maybe 2 years ago. I was staying in a hotel downtown because my building was getting exterminated. So they put me up in a hotel, and I felt like a tourist in my own hometown here of Waikiki, Honolulu. All right, welcome back, and hello from Saudi. We're going to discuss a location that is an overseas contracting location. A lot of people forget about it, and that is Hawaii. You do have your pros and cons when you choose to go work in Hawaii. But the reason why I wanted to bring it up is because it is a place that's near and dear to me. I worked contracting in Hawaii for many years in a variety of work, and it's a place where I own my home. It's home for me as well. Even though I'm working overseas for years now in the Middle East, Hawaii is still my home. And so for those of you who may be thinking maybe taking a job in Hawaii, a contracting job there, I think we should talk. We should definitely have a conversation, all right? So we'll get started in just a moment. After years of military contracting overseas, and I'm getting ready to retire, I thought I would pass on the information that I learned over years of working abroad to inspire others to reach out, check out the world, see the jobs that are overseas, and learn something about yourself. All right, so let's talk about the idea of getting a contracting job in Hawaii. First of all, what is available in Hawaii? Hawaii has a significant military base presence. You have Air Force bases, naval bases, Coast Guard bases. You have Army bases. You have large Marine Corps bases. Many of these bases have air components as well. You have on the Marine Corps base, you have an air component there with large aircraft of different kinds. The Coast Guard bases have air as far as both fixed wing and helicopter. Army bases have helicopters, a variety of them. You will find the Air Force base to have just about anything you can imagine as far as an air component. And why that matters is because, as always, when you have these different platforms, a different classification of aircraft, then you have all the contractors that go around that. Because the military is constantly rotating through, and you have contractors there to offer continuity in paperwork, in maintenance, in upkeep, in administration, upkeeping the computer systems, everything around each of these platforms, okay? When a new ship arrives, when a new submarine arrives, when a new classification of helicopter arrives at one of the bases, you have contractors that do a variety of jobs around those, and there's just a significant amount of work. Now, the population of Hawaii is not that big, but a lot of people in Hawaii do work on these military bases because it's where there are a lot of jobs. Like basically number 3 behind the tourism industry, working for the state government, and then working for the federal government. It's pretty much third. There might be some other ones as well. There's very large construction companies and things like that. Transportation companies that move goods from the mainland back to Hawaii. Those are very big companies too. But working on a military base, that's really one of the big ones. And every job you can imagine is there. So that's the idea behind, as far as jobs that are available, contracting jobs that are available, everything you can think of. You're going to find your facilities maintenance of all kind, HVAC, electrical. You're going to find plumbing, carpentry, concrete work. On the shipyard, you'll find your welding, just about any type of metal work, any type of woodwork, pipe fitting, electrical, everything is available at the shipyard. As far as IT jobs, It's hard to find a place that's going to have as big a range of IT work as what you're going to find in Hawaii. First of all of these military bases have large desktop support centers because we're talking thousands of workers on these bases, and they all have desktop computers, they all have laptop computers, they all work off of Wi-Fi routers, or they have networks that need to be kept up. So desktop support work is huge. There is network administration work for all of these bases. You also have centralized network administration that upkeeps the military networks between the bases, or between the mainland and the islands, or between Asia and the islands. You're going to find satellite communication work of all kinds, cybersecurity from junior positions up to the most senior cybersecurity jobs in the military, all available in Hawaii. So there's no limit of IT contracting work. That's for sure. All right. So we talked a little bit about the scope of jobs, which is significant in Hawaii. We talked about the range of work, whether it be mechanical or whether it be in technology. It's all available. We should discuss the pros and cons of working in Hawaii, because there's no shortage of work there. You can go right now to clearancejobs.com. You can go to indeed.com, put in what job you do, and look for federal contracting in Hawaii. Basically, you'll probably find something similar there. The pros of working in Hawaii is that you do have a very beautiful weather year-round, a stable weather year-round. It is an American state, which means there is no problem interacting with the local culture. Everyone speaks your language, uses the same currency as you. You have all the facilities you want as far as great restaurants, movie theaters, shopping malls, fantastic hikes. You have beautiful beaches to go spend the day at. The pros of the island are definitely there. People are healthy, people are happy, but there are cons to working in Hawaii. The first con would be the price. It is not cheap to live in Hawaii. It's probably the most expensive real estate, fuel, cost of food, some of the highest taxes in the United States. All of your professional businesses and licenses and fees and certificates and anything are expensive. It is a very regulated, bureaucratic environment that costs a lot of money to live in. Be aware of that, the cost of living. If you can find affordable housing, and one thing that you can do is, if you decide to live there, you could, if you're in a position financially to do this, maybe put a down payment on a condominium and start paying a mortgage there. Or get yourself a condominium that has 2 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, get yourself a roommate to start cutting your cost of living down significantly. Getting yourself a home and putting some renters in the home with you. These are opportunities to start reducing your cost of living in Hawaii, which is significant. I wouldn't bring it up if it wasn't. It's important for you to know. And it has caused people to come for contract jobs and realize, I can't afford to live here. It's too expensive. And so that would probably be your number one con of working in Hawaii, is the cost of living. As far as crime goes, there is not much violent crime in Hawaii. There's not a lot of drug crime in Hawaii. What there is a lot of property crime. Cars get broken into, condominiums get broken into, homes get broken into, things get stolen. They tend to be small items. No one's walking out of a house in Hawaii with a big television because it's going to be looking very suspicious to the neighbors. But small items get stolen from homes, things that can be sold for a quick turnaround of cash at pawn shops, that type of thing. You will find that in Hawaii. Cars getting broken into, significant. Okay, probably some of the highest rates in the country of property crime. But as far as violent crime, you really don't find much. And that's a good thing. You just have to live with some of the property crime issues that you have there. Make sure you have security systems. Make sure that you announce your security systems on windows and doors, and do what you can to avoid having anything that's out in the open being flashy, so that you're not sending a message that you have things to steal. Okay? To sort of summarize what we've been talking about with Hawaii, first of all, a lot of people don't think about Hawaii as an opportunity for overseas contracting, and there is so much work available there. You do have to pay U.S. taxes. If you're a U.S. citizen, you'll be paying U.S. taxes as normal, as compared to working in other overseas jobs, such as in the Middle East, where I am now, where you have the ability to shelter more taxes. This is true. But it is a chance to go to a very unique place, a very beautiful place with very nice people. Expensive, true, but it's an interesting place that you'll enjoy. A healthy place, low crime, just a high cost of living. That's it. A great deal of work available in all of your trades and all of technology available there to spend your entire career. A very low cost, good university to go to. If you're bringing your family out there and you want them to go to University of Hawaii, very highly rated, low cost. And that's about it. I hope that we've been able to talk a little bit about what you may be wondering about working in Hawaii, what the opportunities are, the pros and the cons. And we will continue to discuss different areas to work in. And we'll go on with some other subjects as well. Leave a comment if there's something in particular that you'd like us to cover. And for the most part, I hope this has been helpful, and have a nice day.